Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Chimmy Speaks. I am your host, Chimmy, and today, welcome to episode 5. Clock it. Respectfully, I don't care. Now, for those of you who are joining, welcome. Hi, how are you? Oh my God, stop it. I am so excited. Happy Friday. I'm trying to experiment. Do I want these clockets to have my face on it? Do I like that it's just a little mic? I kind of feel like I really like the mic, you guys. It kind of gives me a little less pressure to feel like I have to not perform, but more like I can just focus on what I want to say and not really have to be looking like, are these quirks coming in a little too hard, honey? I don't know. But I kind of like that it's like a very like chill type of environment. Now, I have a lot of thoughts today, okay? I am just like, listen, we're going to talk about, do we care, do we not care, to care or not to care, honey? That is the question. But before we get into that, I want to say hello to the beautiful chat because I saw the chat was already litty litty. It was popping with all the beautiful people. So let me go to the very tippity top. Let's see who's here. Pause everything in your life, okay? We have Miss Captain Harris, who is the mod, aside from Terry, because we love our Terry, but Miss Captain Harris is Lady Zelda's mod, and she has joined us. And listen, Miss Captain Harris, you were sub number 100. Listen, let me get a round of applause for our girl, Miss Captain Harris. Yes, she is the sweetest person ever. What a joy. Like, thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful for you, and for you to just be subbed up to my channel and support it means the world to me. So thank you so much for being here. To all of my other beautiful people, let's see who else is here. Miss Renee. Hello, my beautiful mod, Miss Renee. Yes, check out Miss Renee. She has a channel. She is fabulous. Miss Patricia White, thank you so much for coming in for a second. We love you, girl. I pray everything is going well with you. Of course, my angel with the trumpet, Miss Terry Doria. Yes, we don't play with Miss Terry, okay? Miss 808, my girl. Yes, my Gorgina, period. Yes, she's here too. Everybody, oh my God, I can't even deal. Miss Christy. Yes, Miss Christy. Stop it. That Gorgina too. Stop it. Oh, Miss Melanie. Please, everyone, please stop it, Miss Melanie. I can't even deal. Yes. Miss, is it Elima? Am I saying it right? But listen, 143, I love you too, period. Oh my God, love. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I am so grateful to all of you. Thank you for being oh so kind, for spending your Friday evening. So listen, we're going to get into some things today. So first of all, I hope everyone has their Brevergino of choice. You see that? Yes, we're doing a little ASMR, honey. Yes, I have something in my cup. You don't got to worry about it. But let's just say that, you know what? If I finish it, we might get a little personal. I'm just kidding. Okay. And here we are. So a couple of announcements before we get into it. I didn't realize that as a little subscriber, not a subscriber, but as a content creator, at some point, you got to let people know that, listen, the topics that I speak about aren't directed at anyone in particular. Please be mindful in the chat. If you have my direct link though, and you know how to call me and you think it's about you, baby, I don't know how to help you because I don't do that. And I think that a lot of the things that I try to talk about are topics that all of us can kind of relate to some degree. So, none of this is a direct shot at nobody. It's just, however, in this space, I have to be very firm about my boundaries, and I am not going to tolerate distractions or trying to create weird issues. Like, we're not doing that. Just please be respectful. I would never do that in anybody else's chat. So please apply that here. And if you don't, I don't care if I know you for a day, a minute, a year, a second. If you come with these games, you're blocked. Respectfully. Because guess what? I don't care. And it ain't no shade. It's just I got to maintain a certain level of, respect for my channel, for my mods, for my chat. This is a very fun and safe space for everybody. Let's just have fun and let's get into it. So this week, The topic is I don't care. How many people have said, I don't care? I know we all have, honey. We all have said, I don't care. Even if it's for something very silly, even if we're very dramatico, it doesn't even matter what it is. We have all been like, I don't care, even though deep down we might care. And the reason why I bring this up is because that seems to be like something that we all kind of do subconsciously. And I think that maybe instead of saying, I don't care, how can we look at maybe feelings of not caring in a way where it's not such a blanket statement and maybe use words that are a little bit more specific? How do we provide clarity to people without it being so, I don't care? Because look, I don't care is a very straightforward sentence, right? But for some of us, we just say it because it's a method to avoid having the conversation or avoid what we actually might be feeling. So we'll just be like, oh, I don't care, whatever, I don't care. But then deep down, we really, really do care, and it starts to eat us up. So how can we start as a society, as a culture, within our relationships, change the way that we communicate with each other to just not do the mind games and just be very clear with our communication? Because if you notice, a lot of things that have been happening all over the internet, in any arena that you step into, there's so much misinformation because there is no regard to making the truth the focal point. Not only that, we're also not like prioritizing clarity. The truth is going to hurt feelings, okay? And respectfully, we can't all cater to everyone's feelings. So what we should put more emphasis on in the caring aspect is, what is the primary focus here? It's to bring out what the truth is. That's what we should be focusing on. So yeah, I don't care. That could be true. But is it? That's for you to determine. So what do we think about that? I know that I posted the poll and some people will say, yeah, sometimes I'd use it and I don't use it. I'm only human. Absolutely. And even for those who are like straight up, like, I don't care. Like I think Miss Elisa had mentioned that she, for the neurospicy people. And that was like such a great point, because some of us, if we have ADHD or whatever, ABC 1, 2, 3, honey, I don't know. There's so many things, so many categories that all of us have. I'm pretty sure that none of us qualify in the cluster B. Okay. If you are a psych major or you know about psychology, honey, you know about the cluster Bs. Okay. We don't do the cluster Bs over here. Absolutely not. We clock them, but we are not participating in all the cluster B activities. So look at that. I just digressed and then I lost my train of thought because I got very excited about calling out a cluster B. Ay Dios, mira eso. Well, anyway, the point being is that she said that people who have, the neurospicy people, they might process the information very differently than us. So sometimes, they say, I don't care because they genuinely don't care. Or the way that their brain is processing the information, that's just the answer. So my whole point with this live is also to bring some type of awareness to the words that we use. Because I think that in a world that we're living in right now, where words are carrying new meanings, there's a lot of shorthand, there's a lot of 6-7. Listen, I don't know what the 6-7 thing is about, but allegedly the kids go crazy every time they hear it. It's giving very demonic, okay? It's giving very Diablo. I don't know what that does, okay? Pero like everybody is like losing their minds. Everybody starts cheering and throwing everything up in the air, honey. I don't know. It incites a lot of crazies. But we have like lost the true meaning of words. So the whole purpose of this is like, I don't care about certain things, but I do care about preserving other areas. Now, this is is it about that, Miss 808? Is it? Oh, mamma mia. Is it about that? Oh my God. Now you're going to make me look it up, girl. Is it about the bubbies? Don't tell me it's about the bubbies. Is it about the bubbies? Yes, Miss Nurse. Miss Nurse, here, mira, mi reina has arrived. Ay, Dios. Ay, mi reina. Yes, saying I don't care can mask vulnerability, hurt, or sadness. Absolutely. But I think that we've just all been conditioned. It's giving very telenovela sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to us being able to express ourselves in a more like, remember like back in the day, like, or even if you watch the old timey shows, like the history pieces, like a Downton Abbey, you know, people used to articulate their thoughts in a very elaborate way. Or, you know, and if they threw shade, honey, they weren't calling you, you know, the ABCs and one, two, threes. They were just very, you know, forward and clever with their wordplay. But like nowadays, it's just like we just lost the meaning of a lot of things in general. Hold on. Husband alert. What happened? No, I don't have my camera on, my love. Are you watching me from the side? Ay, mira que cute. The husband is watching me. He's like, where's your face? Where's my beautiful wife? I'm right here, honey, just for you. Stop it. He's so cute. Listen, the only reason why we are clocking it today and not doing a stream with this Gorgina face, honey, yes, with this tan, honey, yes, is because we have a couple of upgrades. Kitchen cam has been upgraded, but we are still experimenting to make sure that all of the pieces are operating properly. And we're also using the new camera. The new kitchen cam is also going to be the painting cam, the drawing cam. So if you watched my last short, I started to doodle, which is very relaxing when you're feeling stressed. Please pick up a pen and paper and start doodling, honey. Start doing all the lines, okay? And it's very, very relaxing. So I just wanted to make sure that I had everything coming on time before I streamed with it. So I just still want a little bit of time to like finesse the technology, because your girl, and especially during a retrograde, the technology and I are just like, we're enemies. We're fighting. Okay. I can't, but yes, he is the sweetest person. Ay Dios, he is the best. Oh my God. Yes. Oh my God. 100 subs. Miss Captain Harris is number 100. So we have to give her a round of applause. And what an honor that is, truly. Like, slowly but surely, you know, the people are finding the light, honey. Okay. We're not going into the dark trenches anymore. We are just inviting the light. We are the lighthouse. All right. So now that I went on 50 tangents, let's get back to the topic. So I don't care. So yes, we can use these words and the way that we say things to mask certain things, but this is the part about communication that for me has kind of lost the connection, is that we've become so conditioned to kind of disregard our feelings, to minimize vulnerability for fear of it being exploited, or for it to, you know, make us look weak if we vocalize how we feel, or if we say what we want to say, how it's going to be received. That sometimes I don't care is the best way to get out of a situation, honey. Like sometimes it's like, oh, not my monkeys, not my circus. I don't care. Okay. Like we're just like, I don't care. But I think that that also is a negative. And a lot of it is, how do we change that? So I kind of started to think about it in my own life. And I'm like, where do I say I don't care, but I really care? One, why do I say I don't care? Two, what is it about that situation that made me want to do that? What am I afraid of? What are the wounds? What are the fears that are coming out of that? And that bit of self-reflection helps you kind of narrow down what the real root of the problem is. Because we live in a culture, honey, and in a society where we don't treat the root to solve the whole. Okay. We literally just put band-aids on everything. We keep putting mask on mask. There's people who will be so committed to that broken mask, even though it's been ripped into shreds, honey. They super glue it onto their face like they can't live without it. And for me, I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like being authentic is already being authentic is going to cause a lot of problems for the girls, honey. Yes, it is. Because you're going to irritate a lot of things and a lot of people. But I'm not going to trade authenticity for kind of disregarding the elephant in the room, or for just disregarding how I really feel about things because I'm afraid of hurting someone's feelings. Because guess what? I have feelings too, and they matter. However, we just as a culture haven't found a way to do it in a mature way, because a lot of us are stuck. We're stuck in perceptions and in timelines and in ideas that have kept us stagnant and incapable of growth. I can say that for myself. Like I wasn't ready to receive a lot of feedback on a lot of things. Nowadays, I'm a lot more open to it because I'm like, if people are really genuinely caring about me, I would expect that my friends and the people that really rock with me to be like, yo, Chimmy, maybe this wasn't the right approach. And I'm always the first to ask questions. I love to ask questions. I love to ask people like, hey, you think I should do this? Do you think that this is the right move? Or I'll meditate on it. But I don't want to default on I don't care anymore. I want to change the conversation around it. And yes, respectfully, I don't care about a lot of things because sometimes even with the best intentions, you want to get your point across, you want to say something, but it's not going to be received, right? Like there are situations like that. But a part of me feels like as a collective, we can do better in working how we communicate with one another. The I don't care is not going to slide because you know what? We do care. Some of us do care. Some of y'all cold-blooded though, okay? If y'all give me reptilian, honey, I don't know what to tell you, but there's a lot of cold-blooded cluster Bs, and that's fine. Maybe they don't care. But for and even the empath word, I do feel like empathy and being empathetic kind of gets played out to some degree because it's like, oh, but I'm an empath. I feel so deeply. Well, honey, you could be an empath and feel so deeply, but you also are responsible for those feelings, okay? And I know as a person who used to just be like giving and giving from an empty cup until I was completely at the lowest battery percentage, I would get to the point of I don't care because I didn't know how to communicate that you're so annoying. I don't care about your problems. Respectfully, I don't want to be insensitive. It's just that I don't have the capacity to hear you say that you don't like this man, but you're going to get back with him tomorrow. And it's going to be the same cycle over and over and over again. You just want me to just sit there and absorb hearing you talk about how you don't like somebody and how this man cheated on you or how this man treated you, but you have no intentions of walking away. Girl, you can miss me with that, okay? Here's something I care about. I care about my mental peace, and this is not contributing to that. I care about you as a person that I think you deserve better, but that's not going to matter if you don't believe that yourself. I don't care how many times you try to lie to yourself and say that you still love somebody, because that's not love, baby. No man or woman is somebody that's going to keep dragging you and leaving little crumbs everywhere, okay? You're not a New York pigeon scraping and scrambling for crumbs, honey, okay? Get the sandwich and a side of chips and a beveragino, okay? It's worth it and it's out there. But I don't want to hear that all you're going to do is like, oh, but I love him so much. Girl, you don't. Because you can't love him if you don't love yourself. Okay, that's what I care about. I care about you learning to love yourself. So I don't care, or I care. All of those have rooted. What is the truth behind all of that? That's what it's masking ultimately is what is the underlying truth when we say I don't care or I care? Is it optics? Is it avoidance? Is it understanding? Is it clarity? There's so many scenarios. So how can we improve that? Well, it starts with self, right? It starts with you looking at your own issues, because we've all done it. We've all been that annoying friend at one point, okay? That all like, oh my God, I mean, problems. Like this guy, he was just so cute and I love him so much, but like he hasn't called me in like 4 days. Girl, he's not into you. Okay, next. And then you being that friend saying that, oh, now you're the villain because you don't care about my problems. Respectfully, I don't. Because you don't care about yourself enough to do better. Respectfully. But who am I, right? And that's the thing. When you get into this I don't care energy, which again, this is a very convoluted stream of consciousness because I think that there's layers to all of this stuff. And forgive me if I'm not articulating the point, in a very seamless way. That's kind of the clockin thing. It's kind of like a little bit all over the place, but at some point we get it together. Okay, honey, I'm just getting warmed up. All right. How many minutes are we in? 19 minutes. Let's go, Chimmy. Let's go. 20 minutes. Let's go. at this point, it's like what I realize with not caring, when you choose that path, right? In anything that you do, you are a villain in someone's story. You are the villain, honey. Ask me how I know. Put a cartwheel in the chat if you want to know how I know. How do I know that? How do I know how to be the villain? Oh, I know how to be the villain, honey. Because let me tell you something. Being the villain is a natural part of all of our existences. All of us are going to be a villain to somebody at some point because we don't care. And it's not because you don't care about the person. Sometimes not caring about the issue is caring for the person because you're not entertaining and enabling the BS. Ha ha, clock that. Clock it. That's a fact. So that will automatically make you a villain. You become the villain when you set your boundaries for someone who is desperate to control you. Oh, you become the villain, honey. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You become the villain. Yup. Yeah, yes. Let's see the cartwheels in the chat. Absolutely, the cartwheels. Everybody been there. Everybody done it. Everybody gonna be a villain. You wanna know how the villain? Yes, look at y'all. Yes. Yes, Miss Elisa is here. Hello, beautiful. Hello, Miss Subi Dubi. What an iconic name. One day I'm gonna say it like 10 times fast. But yeah, when you understand like that you're just gonna be the villain because you don't care, life actually gets happier, you guys. And the reason why I know that is because people who struggle with boundaries because of their traumas and their childhood, it all stems from childhood, honey. And if you have children, please do right by your children. Please. All this stuff follows you into adulthood. Do right by them. I don't want any more generational curse breakers to be born. I want people who are here to plant new seeds, okay? Like, let's try to focus on that energy. Gracias. Thank you. Love. Exo Chimmy. But you will be the villain in a lot of people's stories when you choose yourself. At that point, I don't care. I'm going to let you have that one. You shouldn't care. You should be okay being the villain. Because at this point, at what cost is it to be the hero that gets taken out because they didn't listen to themselves? They didn't see what was happening. They didn't trust their gut. They didn't do what they knew intuitively that they had to freaking go right, even though everyone else was going left. You ignore that. And then when you finally wake up to the nonsense and you're in too deep, it doesn't mean that you can't get out, but it certainly will make a lot of people uncomfortable who got comfortable using you. 100%. Or thought they could use you for whatever, to suit whatever cluster B fantasy that they had, honey. I don't know what to tell you. There's a lot of cluster Bs out here. I'm really starting to really believe that there are 144,000 chosen people. Absolutely. Because there are a lot of cluster Bs, and maybe the Bible did not clock it to call it cluster Bs, but there are a lot of cluster Bs out here. Me, my issues, me. I'm important, my feelings, but it's my thing, mine. And it's like, I'm sorry, but don't those, you just said me. So that's you. So shouldn't you handle your problems? Shouldn't you handle your ish? And listen, I'm very conscious to not curse, especially now, since sub number 100, Miss Captain Harris. You will never catch me. At least, let me not say never, because look, sometimes it happens, okay? But I'm trying to do better because you know what? Lady Zelda, she is such an elegant, she is the definition of elegance, okay? I absolutely admire that about her because she represents a time of femininity where it was like elegant, delicate, but don't mess with Lady Z though. I mean, listen, it's not weak though, but she just presents in such a very like regal way that I'm like, ugh. Every day I just aspire to find my regal Chimmy because she's such a good influence in terms of like how ladies are supposed to conduct themselves. And because we've seen too much of the bad girls club, okay? There's too much bad girls. There's too much like, talking like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm even working like on that too, because as a New Yorker, like this is just a part of who I am, but there are ways to articulate things without having to be, in the gutter, honey. Okay, like we don't want to do all that. But Lady Z presents in such a like elegant, regal way that like I try to think about that where I'm like, even the way that I'm presenting, that I care about. I care about that because one day my child is going to see this and I'm very conscious of that. So anyway, let's go back to where I was. I'm sorry, I just had to say that because Lady Z for life. Okay, period. Let's put little hearts in the chat for Miss Lady Z because we love her. Yes, and Miss Captain Harris. Yes. Yes, please. Yes. Exactly. Oh my God. Captain Harris. Yes. She is just, she doesn't swear, period. I can never imagine her swearing. She's so, like, she's just such an elegant woman. Like, sometimes I'm just like, listen, if I can turn back time. Listen, if I could, I probably wouldn't be cursing as much on the interwebs, okay? I probably would do less of that. Yes, little hearts for Miss Lady Z, our queen. She's not even a queen, honey. She is an empress. She is the embodiment of all the queens, honey. Stop playing with me. Ay, Dios. Yes. Cheers to Miss Lady Z. Yes. But yeah, I was like thinking about that. I'm like, listen, like, what if one day she listens to this? Oh my God. Oh, I know, me muero. Please. Ay, Dios. I know. I love it. So, I want to be better. Not to like be like, and that's the thing. You always want to improve. When you're on the growth process, you want to always find ways to improve yourself. So let's go back to the villains, okay? So I think I was saying before that, yes, you will be a villain in someone's story, regardless if you choose yourself or if you choose to not cooperate and concede to this, like, idea, the principles, the system, the group, the ideology, the philosophy, the religion, whatever it is. When you choose to go against the grain and you choose to care about your existence, it is going to create enemies. It's going to create problems in the sense of it's going to basically turn the mirror outwards to those who knew a version of you to remind them where they're stuck. And people do not like to see that reflection, honey. They don't like to see it. And one thing's for sure is I would rather have someone who is consistently questioning who they are in the way to progress forward versus holding on to a version of themselves that keeps them stuck. I'm pretty sure most of us can go back and think about an ex, right? Like we can, like if something ended really poorly with somebody, more than likely you're a villain in their story or they're a villain in yours. And maybe I'm a unicorn. I like to believe that sometimes, honey. Okay, listen, I might be giving unicorn vibes. Okay, she's very unicorn, giving 10s across the board. But it's because I like to believe that people have the ability to change if they choose that. But some people want to be committed to the villain and then call you the villain as a form of projection. But you know what? We're not going there today. Okay, maybe that's another stream. But the point of it is you don't have to care if you're the villain in someone else's story. You're going to meet so many people in your life, everywhere, from all different walks of life, that are going to have an opinion about you, that are going to meet a version of you in that very moment that already, it's the first impression effect. This is who they clock you to be. Oh, look at this person, Chimmy. Love the glasses, love the bun. Seems like a cool girl. She's giving sassy, honey. She's giving classy. Yes, she is. 10s across the board. Okay, we love her. Okay, great. And then you show some humanity and, your flaws. Oh, that Chimmy. Oh, I knew she was always like this. Oh, how dare she have an opinion? How dare she? How dare she not let me control her? Nice try, guys. Nice try. But there's a lot of that. So then you become the villain. The beautiful Chimmy that once was automatically gets demoted, excommunicated, degraded, honey. It's like she no longer exists because you know what? That Chimmy, that version that you met in that moment, maybe I was masking something I still needed to work on. Maybe I didn't like that. I don't like what you bring out of me. Maybe this space isn't for me and I feel trapped. I need to expand. Jupiter is in Leo, honey. And as a rising Leo, baby, that's affecting my first house, baby, how she presents. Okay. So if I feel trapped or stuck, Jupiter is getting me out. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Okay. We are expanding. We are thinking big. We are being authentic. We are expanding ourselves. If you have that placement in your first house of identity. And you know what? That makes a lot of people who are committed to their ugly really uncomfortable. And guess what? You don't got to care. In that, I give you that don't care respectfully. You have to. How as a society can we come to a better way to articulate that or just to let people go? Let people do what they want to do. What is, honey, if I could get $1 for every time somebody tried to play God in my life, honey, I would not be paying rent. I would be paying a mortgage and a very hefty one. Okay. I would be paying somebody to clean my pool right now. I would probably have a Maserati. I mean, something. And I don't even drive, honey. I would have my husband drive me in a Maserati. Okay. Because I'm sorry. Like there's a lot of people thinking that they are the Lord. I don't know what they drank in the morning. It definitely wasn't coffee. It was a whole lot of, excuse me. Why are you drinking that? Excuse me. Better calm down. Hello. Yes, how dare she speak? How dare I speak? How dare I have an opinion? How dare you not agree with what we're saying and we've been saying? How dare you not be the version of the woman that you are supposed to be in this society? How dare you not be this daughter, this mother, this cousin, this sister, this aunt? And for my probably one or two gentlemen that are watching, this uncle, this father, this friend, this man, whatever the case may be. Be the villain. Get comfortable. Clock that. You're going to be a villain in people's lives. That's all right. Care about you first. And I don't want to hear, oh, it's because that's the other thing. Then you say, oh, I care about my boundaries. I care about me. Oh, you're so selfish. Mamma mia, we cannot win. If it's not this, it's that. It's like, so that at that point, ladies and gentlemen, maybe the one gentleman, respectfully, I don't care because last I heard, there is a soul residing in my vessel. And God sees that and operates that. Okay, I give my sovereignty as a soul is not attached to any person, place, or thing on this physical realm. Nope. Y'all not going to keep me trapped. The devil loves to keep us trapped and thinking that we are not higher frequency beings, honey. El Diablo loves to be like, you're not that special. Actually, Señor Diablo, I am. Clock that. Clock that. All of us are individually special. The I am. The I am. I am. I am not everyone's cup of tea. I am not the hero in every story. I am not the villain. I am the villain. We are multifaceted humans and beings. But we have a lot of work to do as a society because we're stuck right now. In an effort to wake people up, it's the approach that I'm learning is probably the best, is to ask these questions to help people think. Critical thinking cannot die. Because then it's giving Kim Jong-un, honey, and I am not going to live in that dictatorship. Absolutely not. He let his people get cataracts and stuff. I am not getting a cataract. Absolutely not. I rebuke in the name of Jesus. No. Okay. We don't do dictatorships. We need to be able to have our own sovereignty. We need to be able to think for ourselves. Even if it's not in agreement with other people, that's okay. That might just be where you're at in your point in your journey, and that's what you're exploring. That's all right. And you got to let people go. You shouldn't have to care too much about that. Oh, I'm only saying that I care because I love you. Well, your version of love just doesn't align with mine. See you later. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? So that's why I like to question things. I like to bring these conversations to the surface, because when I hear things like, I don't care, a lot of us do. And some of us don't, right? It's very complex. We're human, and we're all discovering all of those things with every experience that we have in our life. And that's going to change. If any of you are exactly how you were when you were 3 or 4, I have questions. I'm going to hope that most of you have evolved from there, right? It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to not fit in. It's okay to be yourself. It's okay to not care about standards that you don't live by. It's okay to not follow what books and texts tell you. Prior to written word, people were praying to the sun and showing gratitude. It seems like the harvest was popping when people spent less time hablando, reading books, doing all of this stuff, programming their mind, and just tuning in with their divine source. Is it just me? Is it just me? Because once all of these systems came into play and people started losing connection with each other, we're living in, like, we're very close to 1984, you guys. If we allow it, we outsource our thoughts to a chat GPT. Who controls that information? Have we thought about that? As we're humans, we have minds. And if anything, honey, you know what I realized? You know how they have caste systems, and they're like, oh, some religions believe that you come back as a bug or you come back as an animal, and to be a human is like the most enlightened being. Honey, I think they got that messed up. Honey, they got that messed up. Okay, I'm clocking that right now. Y'all got that messed up, honey. Humans being the most enlightened beings. If a cat knows that it's a cat and knows how to take care of itself, knows how to survive, and is chilling, don't bother nobody, sometimes has a meow meow over here because, somebody's in their litter box. I don't know what to tell you. It seems like they're the most enlightened beings. A tree is the most enlightened living being. Humans? Yes, we're the closest source to God, but I think everything is. Minus the reptilians. Don't tell them that I told you that. Because if you're void of God, honey, that's true death. And maybe as humans, we've lost touch with what we should be caring about. Because animals know exactly what to do. I've said this before. A tree in the East Coast knows when the seasons are. Nobody tells it that. It just knows what to do. It knows how to play its part. And here we are, all of us buying into the very slave system that we've all been conditioned into believing is freedom. We all got to go do jobs that we don't like to pay bills. We all got to attend meetings with people that we don't really like. We got to put on the latest fashion to fit in. We got to go buy a Chanel bag to look like we got money. The designer. Okay. We've lost touch with that because we were too distracted on what isn't important, too distracted outsourcing our worth to people who don't care about us, people who don't want to see you win, fake friends, people who smile in your face, pretend to be one way, and behind your back are destroying you. and destroying you in a way that is inhumane, okay? Like vile. People who profess to be like, oh my God, I'm such a girl's girl. And then you're the first one to tear a woman down, rob her of her opportunities and do that, or steal her man, honey. Ooh, we're getting into novela territory. Stop. Ask me how I know that. I've watched too many novelas. So for all my American people, I didn't watch a lot of American TV growing up. If I got the chance to watch like a Family Matters or, a TGIF Friday or like, look, I don't even know, but ask me a novela. Listen, I was watching Marimar, Luz Clarita. Like, listen, we could clock that tea. But everything is becoming this like disconnection. So do we not care, or is it just we forgot how to really care about the things that really matter? Because we forgot how to talk to each other. We forgot how to talk to ourselves. We forgot how to care for one another. Because everything is a competition. Everything is like a one-up. Everybody wants to be better. Everyone wants to be right. Everybody is on this righteous, quote unquote, righteous path with the moral superiority while also simultaneously reflecting the very person that they're calling out. You don't call out the bully while becoming it. Clock that. We got a lot of bullies calling out bullies. Yes, we do. In this society, you see it in politics all the time. And I hate to even do that because that's its own thing. It's its own system. But you see that it's the divide and conquer. It's this side is bad. This side is bad. It's everywhere. We forgot how to care for one another. That now nobody cares. There are no rules. There are no bounds. There are no freaking limitations. It's a free for all. At least at one point, it's like, leave the women and children alone. We got around to that, before, all these people started going, like these armies would go in and like go steal your wife, do whatever, take your kids and like, go into villages and destroy things. Wasn't that the Old Testament? Aren't we living the New Testament? What is happening? We're getting deep today because there's layers to this. There's layers to this. I don't care is much bigger than a blanket statement or to be used as one. We're all guilty of that. Some of us stand on it, some of us don't. Some of us use it because we don't know how to process what the hell is happening, that we're just like, I don't care because I don't know what the hell's going on. Or maybe I just can't participate in that. But even saying that automatically gets you labeled a phobe, of something, like a whatever, an ism. And then you're not allowed to kind of explore your own human experience because you're forced to have to care sometimes about things that is not even concerning you. That's called distraction. Clock that. That's distraction, baby. And maybe I cared about it before because I thought maybe I could make a change, but I don't care about it now because it looks like y'all don't want to. Clock that. I've dealt with that with friends. The prime example I gave you. There's some people out here in toxic relationships and they don't know how to let go. And it doesn't matter how much sound advice and wisdom you give people. Oh, you're worth so much more than that. It doesn't matter. They're still choosing violence. And you got to let them. Because you got to care about you too. Because there's a lot of energy vampires out here. People who are in constant crisis mode. Everything is a problem in their life. Everything. Everything is overly like magnetized that it's almost like there's so much problems that it's not even a problem anymore, honey. You don't even know where to begin. Fix your life. And I don't care. Because what you don't want to see is that you put yourself in these positions. So miss me with that. And then people go and they're like extracting the energy from people who don't know them. And that's how it starts. It's like, oh, I'm in so many problems are happening in my life. Oh, everyone pay attention to me. Oh my God, all these things are happening. Oh, Mamma Mia. And everyone's like, oh, wishing you well, blah, blah, blah. Everything's good. This, that, and the third. Man, that person doesn't want to change. They just want to extract your energy, honey. There's a lot of energy vampires out here. That's one thing that, like, yo, I would love to talk to Lady Zelda about that, because a lot of people out here are not educated in the spiritual, the connections with people, and how spiritually, when you start talking to somebody, like, I come from a different background of spirituality than what Lady Zelda does. I'm not going to speak on her experience because that's obviously hers. I can only speak on mine. But I'm interested to hear what she would have to say about something like this, because a lot of people are just not aware. First of all, unless you're a reptilian, you are a spiritual being. Okay? let's keep that very clear. We are all spirit. Okay? So when you have interactions with people, in my opinion, you are opening a door in the spirit where there's an access point. And since our society is not educated in that, a lot of people subconsciously and consciously are very open. They don't know how to guard their energetic field. They don't know how to protect themselves. You know, when you meet somebody and you just get that gut feeling like, I don't know how I feel about this person. Okay. And then the empathy in you, if you are a non-reptilian, is like, you know what? Maybe they're going through something, etc., etc. Fine. You don't exercise that D word. Listen, I know it's Friday. Calm down, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. The discernment. Okay. We don't exercise that D word. And we are like, opening the opportunity to what your body is physically rejecting and warning you about. That's a spiritual hit, you guys. That's a spiritual hit. And a lot of us are not fine-tuning it every day. This is not I trust myself, yes. But there is fine-tuning that people are not educated about. And some of us, whether you know this or not, there are people who are very gifted that can see everything that you got going on. And they look like the lady in the park that throws, like, breadcrumbs at the pigeons, and everybody don't play with her because she's Dika the crazy lady. Yeah, I mean, she gets the reputation because then the pigeons all die, right? But she also has a spiritual eye, honey. Her third eye is popping, but in the darker shadow, okay? But a lot of us don't trust that intuitive hit because we're supposed to care about everyone and extend our love and compassion and oh, please, it's okay. I'm here for you. No, just like the word I love you gets thrown around everywhere. We need to stop it. Cut it out. You met me 5 minutes ago. You don't love me. Stop it. Cut it out. We should treat people with love and respect, but you don't love me. You don't know me to love me. We're too free with certain things. And that's something that we need to educate ourselves on. Who are you opening yourself up to? These are called channels. What's a channel? Someone said on Twitter one time I saw, I'm not going to take credit for that, and I don't remember the young man who said it, and I'm sure people have said it all over the place, but television, a stream, a channel is an opening. Who are you allowing into your space? I always say that to people. You got to be careful where you go, what you do, where you put your energy. That you should be caring about a lot more as the veil is thinning in our world. So anyone who's like, oh, I don't believe in astrology. I don't believe in that. That's really silly stuff. Chimmy, what are you talking about? That's all fake. It's not. You're not educated in that. And you've been tricked into believing that you're not spirit, honey, that you don't carry a soul. Religions, in my opinion, and it's no disrespect to anyone who practices religion, but Jesus is the perfect example of this. Jesus did not ask us to have a church and to put him on the cross. Did he? Where? I want to know in the parchments, okay, in the biblical parchments, did Jesus say that? Did he leave instructions? Yo, when it's my time, I really want y'all to take the image of me and put me on a cross so that people can remember that I died for them. I don't think that that's anywhere. I don't think that that's anywhere, everybody. I don't think that they also said, go to the priest and confess your sins. I don't think that they said that either. Go to your father. Who is your father? God. So words, what we say, who we open ourselves up to, all of those things are important to take inventory of. Sometimes you could be associated with somebody and they're carrying so much negative energy that they're inadvertently making you pay for their stuff that they're supposed to carry. Did you catch that? Yes, that happens. There are people who will purposely align with you to hide behind you so that they use you as their shield. People don't talk about that because we've been duped into believing that we're just a meat suit. We're nothing more than that. I hate to break it to you, but you're kind of a sparkly being, honey. Yes. All the people in the chat, yes. Pariad. Pariad. So I say those things because it's important to care about them. Care about that. Don't care about the irrelevant stuff. And if you do care about it and you use it as a blanket statement, figure out why you're saying it. Start having conversations with who you are. Not the version that you want people to receive you as. The vessel, the human that you are. I don't know who that is because I don't know your contract, honey. And if I was an astrologer, I still wouldn't know. Okay. But if you want to know some tea about your life, you can Google it. Google your birth chart. Go to a trusted source and get your birth chart. But don't be giving out your birth chart information to just anybody. Okay. The Asian Federation has told me that. Yes, I'm married into an Asian family. And the first thing that they do is that they never tell anybody the time and place that you're born. Never. But notice how now you go into a Barnes and Nobles. Oh, there's tarot cards. There's astrology. They're making all that stuff so accessible because in the wrong hands, in hands that are not trained or drawn to that stuff. Listen, we may not need CERN. Okay. But Lady Zeldas are around to protect what happens when people mishandle this type of stuff. Y'all don't realize that. Some people don't realize that, especially very religious people don't understand. There are ethics in the spirit. There are ethics that you follow in the spirit. You should care about your spiritual house, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you should. So who you surround yourself with, I'm going to pose it like this. If someone comes to your house by themselves, right? Your physical house, your home, they knock on the door and you don't know them. Are you going to let them, and let's say they come with like 20 people, you're going to let all those people come in? Are you going to let all those people come into your house if you don't know them? My hope is that you're going to say no. Okay. Now think about that in the spirit. You have a spiritual house. So if you go to somebody, you go touch a card, you go touch something that you don't know anything about, right? You're curious about it. Think of that as the access point to you opening your spiritual house. You don't know what's behind whatever that person is, what's behind those cards, what's behind that book, what's behind that religious group, what's behind whatever it is, that vintage piece, that, you know what I mean? Like that Tiffany lamp that you saw at the Goodwill, honey. You don't know what energy is behind that you merely you being attracted to it but your body's being like, alert, 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 like your ring cam, your actual internal ring cam goes off. And it's like, absolutely not, absolutely not, absolutely not. And you don't listen to that. That's your body warning you that there's something there that you're not supposed to be touching or playing with, because you're literally opening the door to your spiritual house, and whatever's hiding behind that thing, that person, place, or thing, you've inadvertently allowed access into your home, honey. You should care about that, because you don't know what people carry. You don't. But you care that you don't want to hurt someone's feelings, right? But your body is screaming at you like, don't do it. And then you got to F around and find out. And sometimes there's people who are very good at masking things. There's objects that are so shiny and pretty. Remember Aladdin? What did they tell Aladdin? When Jafar, looking like a decrepit old man, was like, go in there and fetch the lamp. All right, fine. Go in there and fetch the lamp. Está bien. Fine. I got you, my guy. So he goes with Abu. He goes down the stairs. They see all these things, blah, blah, blah. Then he sees the lamp and he's like, all right, Abu, we got to do this. You heard? So they go up the stairs, the flames, the lava, and it's like this intense moment happens. And Abu, being, el mono, the monkey that he was, very clever, okay? Abu sees a ruby and he's distracted by how beautiful the ruby is, that he touches it and ruins everything. Because what he was supposed to do was focus on the lamp. There are situations like that when you meet people, when you go places, when you go to stores. That's why, like, respectfully to Barnes and Nobles, I love that bookstores still exist. Y'all should not be having an astrology section opened, and Ouija boards and all that stuff open. Those things are supposed to go in, like where I was growing up, in like a botanica. Those are spirit homes, like places like spirit shops, where they got their candles, they got their santos, they got, every type of thing that you could think of. That should not be, even if it's like trendy and cool, you should not be putting stuff like that in the hands of the wrong people, especially people that are ignorant to what they could be doing, what they could be opening. You shouldn't be doing stuff like that. Same thing. It's like, we should care about that. And respectfully, I don't care if people think that that's wrong. Actually, no, that's 1000% correct. The people who are going to say that what I'm saying is incorrect is because y'all are not educated in the ethics of the spirit. Remember Miss Cleo? Call me now. What happens to that poor lady? She made everybody else who does the things that she does look bad, because she was also kind of a fraud. Not even kind of. I think she was a fraud, or she turned out to be a fraud. But this is what the devil does. The devil likes to confuse. The devil likes to distort, because spiritual people are not bad. Are there bad spiritual people? Yes, but there aren't also. You should care about understanding what spirit is, because you are spirit. And when you start having those conversations with yourself, it doesn't become I don't care anymore. It becomes I am aware. I am present. I am understanding. I'm not sure how I feel. I need time to sort that out. I'm not educated in this. Maybe I'll reserve my opinion. But we've all everything is convoluted nowadays. Everything is like, oh, look at how pretty this is. Then all of a sudden you have a demonic possession, honey. No. Listen, and mal de ojo, aka evil eye, a lot of people carry that. There's some people out here that are really good with that evil eye, honey. Yes. Yes. Listen, Miss Captain Harris called it. Don't play with fire either. Don't be like, listen, I didn't know about this until recently. Like, a lot of people, like, sage became the thing, right? Everybody's saging. Everyone's saging everywhere. Sage might not be the thing that you should be lighting in your house, honey. If you're not aware of what to do, you shouldn't be touching it. When in doubt, leave it alone. In that respect, don't care about it. Déjalo ahí. Leave it alone. Don't play with that stuff. Oh, we got into the spirit, honey. Listen, I don't care brought out a lot of things. It's a very layered and complex statement because it is just the mask to cover what's underneath that. Yes, it can be very literal, but we use our mouths to speak. And for those who can't speak, use their hands to communicate. We type. We're spelling. Spelling. Okay? Everything that is said is recorded. Care about that. And this is what's so disturbing about like the internet. We've only cared about our own moral compass that isn't guided by truth. There are a lot of people with a very distorted moral compass and a moral code. And they are able to influence others because of a sob story. Oh, this person did this to me. Meanwhile, you've turned people against someone. You've influenced people to see and distort the image of someone who half of these people don't even know, right? We see it all the time. And that person's influence destroys someone's livelihood, destroys someone's reputation. And when the truth comes out, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. No, it's not that you didn't know. You chose to believe that because you in that moment were in alignment with what that person was saying to be influenced by it. You didn't want to do your due diligence. You didn't want to use your discernment. You wanted to believe that to be true. Because the devil is very crafty to a degree, but he don't got all the tricks, honey. He's capped. Pay attention to that. You should care about that because guess what? You pay karmic consequences for your participation in it. Yep. Yes, you do. Any way you participate in it, any word that you said, even though that it wasn't said to the person through a text, doesn't matter. You don't know who you playing with. There's some people out here they are so anointed, you cannot come for them. You cannot come for them, honey. Because you thought that all those things you were whispering weren't heard. Oh, honey, they were heard. They were recorded and documented. Don't cry now. You know what you did. You know who you influenced. That's a general statement for people. You know what you're doing. We've all been there to some degree in this space. We all believe one thing. We all believe the other. We try to believe. It's very rare for people to critically think in these type of very tragic things. Some things are very clear as black and white. Yes, I get that. Some things are very clear. But I'm talking about things built on a false foundation. When they start to fall apart, it's because everyone involved played a role. And in the online space, the chat plays a role. The creators play a role. The circumstances around it play a role. Everything plays a role. Care about that. Because you inadvertently don't realize that your participation in it is the reason why maybe your car's not starting. Maybe that retrograde is really kicking you behind this time because you know what? Maybe you were saying not so savory things and then you went to the other place and you're being two-faced. Yup. And you don't take responsibility. Yup. Yes, honey. And I laugh about it because people are not me. Oh, not me. Oh, yes, honey, you. It's you. Listen, honey, when that laugh comes from the soul level is because I've seen it too many times before. And it's not to demonize people. It's just like, you made a mistake, own it. You messed up, own it. Doesn't mean that things are going to go a certain way for you anymore. But people really hold on to like that deviancy until it literally eats them alive. And it's like, yo, soul to soul, whatever version of a soul you got in there, even me, like, I don't want to see you. Look, I fear God and that's it. And I don't want to experience the wrath, honey. Nope. I don't. And I have not been a perfect being. But one thing's for sure and two things for certain. If I know I messed up, I am taking responsibility because I know God is watching and listening, honey. I know. I care. If I care about anything, is how does God receive me? How am I honoring my higher self to be a better version of myself? I am in constant war of always doing the right thing for myself, not to appease anyone else, is to appease God. And when I'm wrong, I will pay for it. I'm not free of karmic consequence. Even when I own my actions, of course, I have to pay. I extracted from the petty machine. I invested in the crypto zoo. I got to take my losses. But we do not see that anymore. We don't see that because then it's like there's this automatic label. Oh, from the very beginning, you just automatically want to jump the gun to believe someone else because you don't realize that you do care what I represent or what you represent or what somebody else represents. I might be subconsciously triggering something in you that maybe part of you envies the fact that I do this. Maybe you wish you had this bun, honey. I don't know what to tell you. A lot of us do that subconsciously. We don't talk about that enough. We don't own that enough. When's the last time you heard somebody really be honest? Like, you know what, girl? I just didn't like you because you triggered something in me that made me feel like your confidence made me feel so insecure. Your confidence is what actually made me feel like I was no one. And I hated that it was so effortless for you. Then that opens the door for the conversation. You think that it was easy to get here? Because what you think is effortless for someone else, you don't know what it took for them to obtain it, baby. Again, genetics, take it up with the Lord, honey. That is, that came from the mothership. I don't know what to tell you. That is a maybe I just picked the right vet. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know the intricacies of what happens before we're born here. I don't profess to know it, but like what I do know is we don't care enough about honoring vulnerability as a way to grow. We don't care enough about that. We don't. So I'm going to take a quick pauserino. Hold on. Let me take a sipperino. Cheers, cheers, everybody. Let me say what's up to the chat because I've been ranting now for an hour and 8 minutes. I mean, I told y'all I could do this. I didn't realize I could. I was too afraid. I was too afraid to start something. I really didn't want to do it. I wanted to be more of a collaborator. And I love talking to people. But I think that understanding after like having that reflection and that moment of reflection of what I envision for my own life, selfishly, I like doing things my way. I'm so meticulous. I'm a Taurus. I like things done a certain way. I don't always like to play with others. I don't. Because I know sometimes playing with others, my ego will be like, well, I think we should do it this way. And I know my people pleaser might be coming out more and can't be sitting down because I don't want to do things your way. That's not in alignment with what I want to do. So what does that create? Conflict with the wrong people. But the right people will be like, I honor that. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. The right people will actually do that. But it's not to say that that isn't the case in a lot of situations. But I think that right now, I like to be alone. I like to do this solo. I like to kind of like build in my own creative space, because when I'm in the zone, like if y'all watch the movie Soul, that movie perfectly articulates what it feels like when I am painting and listening to classical music and like getting lost in creation. I know I'm such an artiste. Stop it. When I'm whipping up that buttercream and I'm staring at it and watching it go from a very like yellow, delicious Kerrygold butter to then this beautiful, beautiful, like fluffy white buttercream. There's something that this is such a personal connection, such a personal experience that I cannot explain what that does. It is so healing. And that's such a personal thing for me that it's like, sure, I can talk. That part's a little easier, like to articulate things. It's not really. You know what? I will say this. Speaking on the internet and articulating your points in a cohesive way is not easy. Being able to have that gift to speak and to resonate with people is not easy. I'm going to 100% say that. But in terms of creation, that's a solo experience, in my opinion. It is personal. It is spiritual. It is the closest way to connect to your divine source. And when I create with the internet or by myself, like those lines that I did, that line art I did in my last short, I just get lost in it. And it's like nothing else matters but creating. Nothing else matters but to just stay grounded in this piece while something chemically, something spiritually is shifting. It's a beautiful experience. That's why, it's part of the reason why they got us addicted to these phones and to these devices. Because you know what? When you feel that, that is the true like enlightenment. That's the true connection to your source. We are creators. Even if you're not an artist, you can make a mean granny square, honey. Yes. And Miss Terry knows why I said that, honey. Yes. Miss Terry knows. But it's something that's like, it just elevates. It helps you silence the noise and connect to something so deep. And that's when you start remembering who you are. That's where you need to care. That's where I suggest everybody should focus more energy in caring about. You want to know who you are? Pick up a pen and pencil and zone the hell out. Go for a walk in nature, zone out. Silence everything. Don't take your phone with you. Turn it all off and just sit still, quiet, nothing else. You'll start to really start connecting to who you are. A lot of us have lost touch of that. That's why a lot of us don't care. It's sad. But I do believe I'm very optimistic. I will not, and the reason why I'm optimistic in a lot of ways is because in my belief, in my opinion, we are all sovereign beings. We are all free if we choose it. We all can connect to something much higher if we want it. It's all available to you. You're not going to find that answer watching the 7th season of Big Brother, honey. That's called a distraction. That's what that is. You find it in the stillness, in the quiet, in caring about nurturing yourself. Taking off the mask, honey. At some point, it's going to come off. At least do it voluntarily before someone else rips it off. And especially if the Lord is going to humbleth that behindeth. Okay, like that's the worst part. Okay, like when the Lord steps in, is like, oh, so you think you cute, you think it's funny to act like a deviant. Oh, pero wait a second. Let me take off that mask and let me show you. That's not who you are, period. Unless you're choosing it, honey. But before you left this heavenly place, we made a deal. And a deal with the Lord is great. But I need to keep you. And you said to me, listen, I can show you the contract. You told me, humble me if I'm going too off path. And the Lord will do it. Okay? He will do it. Take that stuff serious, y'all. Care about that. Don't care about things that you can't control. We can't control anything outside of ourselves anyway. It's the stoic way to be. We do have to talk about stoicism at some point. I really want to deep dive into that because it has helped a lot in changing my perspective and coming across what people used to do back in the day. People used to sit around and talk to each other and think about this is philosophy. It's like exploring what the meaning of life is. Why are we here? What are we here to do? Sometimes to their own detriment, right? Because sometimes you can get lost in that, in like wanting to know the answer instead of just being present and enjoying it. Kind of like people who are too stuck in the past. There's people that are too stuck in the future. Like the whole point is to be present one day at a time. But all of our nervous systems are completely hijacked. We are so dysregulated as a society that we're so triggered by everything. Like we don't know how to calm down. We need to calm down. We need to remember that within your vessel, that's what you can control. You can't do anything outside of that. You got to let people rock. And sometimes it's sad because it's like you could see, and I hate this so much because it's part of the reason why people stay trapped in toxic relationships. You see potential and you want to live to see it go through, that what you've helped the person with, actually they get it. And you have this moment. And then it's like, they just keep reverting to old ways. They keep reverting to old habits. It's an addiction. But the only person who can heal that is the person who's suffering with it. They have the choice to not do it if they choose that. But that has to come from them. It cannot come from you. You cannot enable someone into seeing the path. They have to find it themselves. That's just period. Like, that's just what it is. We should care more about that. Sometimes helping people is the wrong thing to do in certain circumstances because some people don't want to be helped. They want to be coddled. And I'm not your mother or your blankie or your teddy or your binky. So I'm on that type of energy that is like, I love a lot of people, like I care for people, but I also understand that sometimes people fall out of alignment with each other. So if you're not matching my energy in the vibration that I'm at, which is we're moving forward, it's no disrespect. I just have to move that way. My soul is asking me to do it. So when you're tapped in on that level, you start to understand that that's what that is. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's not about like, I don't associate with this filth, with these peasants. I mean, listen, honey, in certain circumstances, it's just, they're not peasants. Okay, listen, we're not doing that pettyana, all right, at 9:18 on Friday, July 17th. Okay, we're not doing that Eastern time. But we're not doing that. It's just not in alignment, and that's okay. Keep it pushing. Care about that. You should care about that. Care about you. And I'm going to break for a moment and just say my other post this week was dedicated to what Miss 808 is doing. So shout out to Miss 808. Love you. You already know. Miss 808 is hosting, or not hosting, but she's offering her services along with these other wonderful women, including her iconic daughter who made my mahjong nails, honey. Yes, for my birthday set. And they got together and they're offering their services to a lucky winner. So if you're in the New Hampshire area, please go check that out. Their Instagram link is linked in my post. And like I said, I know I don't care about a lot of things. And that's also layered when I say that. But when I do care, I care about people who are out here doing things like that, offering their services to help someone else feel better, because someone might win that and might feel like $1,000,000, and that's going to be the beginning to their healing journey. Who knows? They're going to get that seamless tan, honey, like they just got back from Barbados, from Jamaica, and Miss 808 literally left them looking flawless. And they're going to be like, wow, I feel so beautiful. I want to do this. That self-care is real. That self-care is real. We should care about that more. Care about yourself. Like, this is why I love Lady Zelda so much too. And I have to give her another shout out. Like, aside from being so elegant, okay, she is elegance. She always has a cute lip. She's always given a cute pair of frames. Her hair is very nice and pressed. She always is put together, because there is something beautiful about feeling good about yourself, presentable. Like back in the 1800s, people, like, even if they didn't have money, like we talked about this before, like they had the ability to look nice, because there is something about how you present outward is also a reflection of how you feel inside. Do the self-care, care about that some more. And not like I'm feeling myself because I want attention from people. No, do it because you want that love for you. You want that care for you. That is beautiful to me. I love that. That we should care more about. Because when we start caring about the things that are actually important, all of this noise starts to silence. It only gets energy if you keep feeding it. The things that you don't care about, the blanket statements of I don't care, but deep down you do care. That's only masking the problem. It's not addressing the root of the problem. We got to get to the root of things. We got to uproot the BS. What is keeping you stuck? Uproot it out of your life. Stop letting it have power over you. Care about that. That's a part of your care. All right, for real. Let me take another sip of Reno. Lord, have mercy. Let's see. Oh my gosh, the people that in the chat. Oh my God. I haven't even been looking at the chat. I've been staring at my mic the whole time. It's very awkward, to be honest. I'm like talking to my mic. I'm like looking at it. It's so funny. Hold on. Should I just like show you guys? Hold on. I'm going to turn on my cam for 1 second. Listen, hold on. Let me put on my earrings. Listen, you will not catch me on the internet without earrings. Stop it. Stop it. Don't even tell me that. Okay. Seriously. Let me put on these hoops. Listen, I love these hoops. I love the hoops. The hoops for days, honey. I am going to turn off the camera afterward because I like that Clockin is its own thing, you know? It's like kind of giving podcasty, listen to it while, you know, maybe you're getting your groceries. I don't know. Maybe you're making a nice little cute drink because you're doing your self-care. You're giving yourself a little mani-pedi. Ow, yes, period. Okay, hold on. Can you see me? Hold on. Hey! So I'm just here like this, like, that's the behind the scenes. Yo, like, it's so funny to me. I love that. Should I just finish the stream like this with my Rode Mira eso, with my Rode mic? And also, if it's kind of loud, let me know, because I can't hear myself from the other side, so I don't know like how absurd I sound, if at all. How long? Yes, don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still chimney from the block. Listen, I'll never forget that story. You already know where I'm gonna go with that. Where she went to her house and the guy's like, "Who are you?" Jennifer. Jennifer who? Jennifer Lopez. Huh? I was like, I'm sorry, girl. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? But these hoops, I love these hoops. I love this necklace. I love to wear gold. I love to do all the things. Yes, God. But this is literally like how I speak. Like I'm just talking into the void over here. But it's nice to like see the chat and everybody. Oh, thank you. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you so much. Oh, you're going to make me blush when I already put so much blush on today. Stop it. I've been very heavy into the blush. Apparently, all the young girlies are doing it. They're very cute. They're like all wearing this like, over blush. Like, oh my God, I'm like sun kissed, honey. Yas. Like, I tried. Okay, listen. As my skin is maturing, I want less stuff on my face. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to do too much of the heavy. If I invest in any product, more than likely it's going to be focused on whatever skincare benefits come with it. So I just don't want like a plaster layer heavy makeup, especially on days when está caliente. Listen, honey, está bien caliente outside. Okay. And yes, I make all of these faces even when the camera is off. Listen, that's who she is. Okay. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to leave the rest of this segment / what we're talking about so I can see the chat now and kind of focus because I literally was looking this way. I was not paying attention. Yeah, right. It can be really smothering because it's like, it feels like your skin cannot breathe. So you're just like caked on. There's so much going on your face. And it's like, it starts to like disintegrate. It starts to melt. I'm melting, like literally like melting into your collar all of a sudden has all of your foundation. It has like a little bit of bronzer. Who knows? But no, senor. No, please. Thank you, everyone, for the very sweet compliments. My gosh, stop it. You're all beautiful. Stop it. All of you, even my gentlemen, okay? So let's see who's in the chat. Listen, if you would like me to say what's up, because if I scroll up, I don't know if I'm going to remember where you're at. Please put a heart in the chat so I can say hello to you. I would love to say hello to every single person who is in here. And then, I'll also say hi to the lurkers. I doubt that there's 21 people in here, okay? But if there is, welcome and thank you. 20 now. Okay. I scared someone away. That's fine. I digress. Yes. Miss Patricia, how are you feeling? Thank you so much for being here. Yes. Okay, Miss Patricia. Wow, you guys are going so fast. Okay, Miss Patricia, is there justice? Michelle Beach, our tan queen. Miss Erin Murphy. Oh my God. Captain Harris, period. Miss 808, Abby. Miss Cheryl, welcome. Oh my God. Miss Renee, Abby. Yes, like period. My Taurus queen. Miss Elisa, Miss Nurse of Interest, period. I think Colin was in here too. Miss Kate Jarrah, yes. Period. I love it so much. Thank you so much. Listen, these numbers are not adding up with who's watching. So who's watching, lurking? Who's lurking? Yes, Miss Christy, period. Right, Miss 808? Period. Miss Melanie, listen, all of you are invited to the commune. Miss Melanie obviously is also invited to the commune. She was like, can I be there? Yes. Applications. I am still taking applications for the commune. We all have roles, but we're creating our own secret society. Wait, instead of the Illuminati, the Chimalatis, I don't know. Colin, what's up, Colin? Welcome. Oh my gosh. Our one gentleman is here, Mr. Colin. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, Ms. Michelle, listen, I agree. Because I didn't have access to the beach living in the city, Central Park was the closest you could like lay out, right? Because where am I gonna lay out? On the fire escape, honey? I know, with the pigeons? No, we're not doing that. So when I came and I moved out of the city, it's the first time that I actually started to feel like, wow, I can actually sit and feel the sun. And listen, in my opinion, we've been told not to be in the sun and to put all these chemicals. Stop it. You just gave me goosebumps. Are you being for real? This lady Zelda's here. You're going to make me cry. Oh my, stop it. Stop. I'm literally getting teary-eyed. Stop it. Miss Lady Zelda. Oh. Miss Lady Zelda, you're catching me getting all emotional. Stop it. Oh, Miss Queen, Miss Elegance. Oh, Lady Zelda, you are so incredible. Thank you. Like, I feel so grateful, so humbled. Like, oh my gosh. Y'all, I'm having a moment. I need a second. Oh, I need a second. That's wild, you guys. That's wild. And the reason why it's so wild is because like I remember watching Lady Zelda through the whole Karen Reed stuff. And I was just like, as somebody who grew up around spiritual things, it became so taboo. And I was like, here she is putting herself out there, this regal queen that she is, the empress. She's not a queen, she's an empress. She is the queen of all queens. And I was just like, she's so graceful and elegant. And she actually reminds me so much of my grandma, like my maternal grandmother, because she's the same. She's very like elegant, very put together, and just the representation of femininity that has kind of died out for a lot of women, where the self-care was important, where you cared about your appearance, and not in a way that was like, trying to look like better than anybody, but just for you to feel good about yourself. And that's what drew me to Lady Zelda. And then aside from the fact that she was clocking it, honey, to everybody, she's like, listen, so actual amente, like drawing all the cards and doing all the things. And it's like, I watched the entire trial and the progression of the trial, not only through what the lawyers and the content creators were doing, but through the spirit. And because there's a lot that gets missed when we don't connect to that. And she's one of the most ethical, spiritual people that exists on this space, because she understands that in a different level. When there's a lot of people who exploit their gifts, she doesn't do that. She is very ethical and grounded in real in what she does, and so helpful overall in bringing clarity from a whole different perspective. So to have you here, Lady Zelda, is like, it's truly such an honor. Thank you so much for taking, your time to be here. Obviously, I'm having an emotional moment. Like, that is just, I did not expect that, but what a blessing and what an honor. Thank you so much. Like honestly, you make me want to level up even more, to like articulate myself better and to be more of what women should kind of be, and that we don't have to be anything but who we are. And that's you. So thank you so much for being here. That's like, oh, I need a minute, y'all. Not me with like the runnies. Stop. Oh my God, no, please. The fact that you're even here is just so wild to me. Like, it's truly like, what a blessing. Thank you so much. You are always, yes, Miss 808, she is right on time. We were talking about, just this whole thing about not caring, and kind of how all of that, I don't care, can be used as a mask. But also, I don't care is part of the reason why our society is in shambles. Like, we don't care probably too much or enough about the things that are important. And especially also too with the spiritual stuff, we don't give a lot of importance to the fact that we are spirit. We are spirit. We have a spirit. We have a soul. And, our world, we have physical eyes, but there's a whole other lens that is completely not tapped into. So when you go into a Barnes and Nobles and you see a whole section dedicated to like astrology, tarot, etc., Ouija boards, and they're just opening it where children and other people who may not be familiar with what it means to actually do that. Like, when I was growing up, you would find these tools at a botanica, which is like the spiritual shops, especially in Spanish culture. Like, we have Caribbean, Spanish culture, Latin American culture. There's a lot of botanicas and the spiritual shops, because a part of our religion, aside from like the, going to church, etc., there is a spiritual side to that. So I'm familiar with that, but there still is a level of it being taboo in certain spaces. But also the introduction of it is coming out without proper boundaries. And people don't realize that you don't even know what you're touching. You can open something and not even know what you're opening. You know what I mean? Like, I can't. I know, Terry, stop. And listen, Miss Terry, I love Miss Terry. She knows. So I know, like, she knows why I feel so like honored right now. Truly, like, it's such a big deal. So thank you. But yeah, in my own little hub is just to kind of educate the people of what we need to focus our care on, like these real moments, like true support of people, and less about, stigmatizing others. Because I'm a big defender of Our Lady Z, because, there's so many people who think that what she does is wrong or taboo. And it's like, or, oh, that's a certain type of, it's witchcraft. No, y'all are not going to do that to Miss Lady Zelda. Absolutely not. You're not going to do that to her, because I have watched from the sidelines, watch her build her channels, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, channels. Okay. Putting herself out there, doing her artwork, doing all of the wonderful things that she does, helping to find answers, reading the energy. That's not witchcraft, honey, which y'all forget. Okay. Because I have said this before. Some of y'all are practicing witchcraft every day by the things that you say and who you influence. We're going to clock that. Okay. We'll clock that. So we've kind of demonized the wrong things, but here we are. This is the world we live in. And sometimes we have to correct that, and we have to give true credit where it deserves. And not that, Lady Zelda ever looks for that. This is truly from the heart. It's like, I grew up knowing that people would look at what we practice or what happened as something that was wrong. But a lot of this is in tune with how people used to have their own, this is your own religion to some degree. This is your practice. Just because it's not, a part of a system doesn't mean that it's wrong or that you're doing something bad. It's just not in alignment with what the conventional religions, and what's so funny is that the conventional religions are the most vile in a lot of cases. They're the most critical. And I'm like, but Jesus wouldn't do that though. I hate to tell you that. I'm so sorry. Jesus wouldn't do that. I'm just letting you know. Okay. And Lady Zelda's here like God, Jesus. She respects all of that. It's just that she was gifted with something that many people don't understand. Why is that her fault? Like, she's not using it to abuse it in any way. And there are people who do. So, Lady Zelda, thank you so much. Truly, like I'm truly speechless. I think I'm just rambling because I can't believe it. Like, honestly, like, what a surprise. Truly, thank you so much. Truly. Everyone put a heart for Miss Lady Zelda. Please put all the hearts. I want to see so many hearts that I want to be blinded by all the love that we give to Miss Lady Zelda. Listen, I'm putting so many hearts too. I don't even know how to do this from my laptop. I'm going to figure it out in real time. Thank you so much, Lady Zelda. You are so loved. This community, you are so needed in this. Like, yes, all the hearts, all of them, all the colors, all the chakras, honey. Yes, we are giving all the chakras. Yes. For Miss Lady Zelda. Oh, yes, everyone. All the love for Miss Lady Zelda. She is a lady, of course. I mean, like, how elegant. Stop it. Yeah, listen, Miss Cheryl and Miss Erin came through with all the colors. Yes. Oh, Lady Zelda, you already know, like, it's truly an honor to honor you. And I know in just a small space, it doesn't matter. Like, the love is given here. It's for you. You deserve it. It's so awesome. Miss Captain Harris, I can't. This is just too surreal, you guys. Oh my God. Yes, Miss Renee, all of y'all. Thank you so much. Please, I want all of it. Even if you have to repeat it, please, let's just keep the love flowing for Miss Lady Zelda. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Oh my gosh. It's so exciting. I can't. I don't even want to drink my drink right now. I'm just like, but I am parched. I'm a little parched. I can't. This is so wild, but what an honor. Like, I love, these are like the things that you don't expect. And it's where, when things like this happen, it's just nothing but gratitude. And I thank God every day for everything, because, when you meet people that are just so genuine and like so kind and awesome, and all of you people who have come here to watch what I'm doing and what I'm creating, It really means so much as somebody who is just kind of figuring out after now turning 40 and really truly feeling like I'm starting to live. It just feels nice to finally find some grounding and like-minded individuals that all of our souls are here for a purpose and united in this moment for a reason. So it's just, yes, it's so awesome. Like, it's so crazy. I just can't. I'm like literally like this something like I can't win awards or anything like that because I'm like, I just like, thank you, God. Like, I wouldn't even know what to say. Like, it's just so wild. It's so beautiful. I can't, you guys. Let me just. I don't care if the concealer's cracking, honey. Okay, listen, Lady Z, I'm gonna have to get that Avon link. Okay, Miss Lady Z is doing the Avon. Okay, yes, she is. I'm gonna have to do all the things. Yes. Please be sure you follow all of her channels and all of her creative ventures and everything she's doing. Like, she is truly like, so like, truly, she is doing everything she wants to do. And that is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. So I don't want to hear anyone saying, oh, it's too late for me. Oh, I don't think I can do it. No, if you need a little inspo, you go to watch what Miss Lady Zelda is doing. And that she like is literally blossoming. I've watched it from like happen from the time we were watching the Karen Reed trial and all of her readings. And then it just became this like progression of like this explosion as she deserves it. She works really hard. Spirit work is like doing energy reading, doing the work that she does is very difficult. It's very difficult. It's not for everybody. It takes a lot out of you. So I know everybody gets very excited during her lives. Please do some more. Let her rest. Let her take a break, please. Okay. I'm just letting you know. But obviously she knows what she's doing, but it takes a lot. So for the people who aren't familiar, it is very engaging and awesome, but it does take a lot out of you. It's part of the reason why I choose not to like go down. Like I've played with tarot. I was interested in it for a very long time, but it's just not my calling. I think I'm still too sensitive to absorbing energy and I'm not familiar. So I was just like, I like it. I love to learn about it. I like to be very familiarize myself with different things. And because I grew up around it, I'm like, I want to understand what all of this means. But for me to practice, it's just not for me. Like I like to doodle. But she is the queen. Okay, listen, she is the empress. Okay, again, can we please get some more hearts for Miss Lady Zelda? And then Miss Lady Zelda, I know I'm probably making you so uncomfortable because I'm like probably ranting forever about how much I love you, but thank you. Thank you for being here. Yes, please put all her links to everything. Ladies, like, let's support Miss Lady Zelda. I'm going to get some stuff on Avon, honey. Yes, period. I need to get a new bronzer and a new blush because I want to be extra rosy to the gods and I want to be bronzed. I want to be very bronze statue. I want to be very cute. I want to match because the color matching is not happening. Okay. I still refuse to buy new concealer, but I've been playing with color theory a little bit. And that's kind of what I've been wanting to do is to like understand like a little bit more of that because we buy products. And since I live on the East Coast, there's just so much like, because the weather changes, I don't use a lot of makeup anymore. So like, I have all this product and it goes to waste and these things cost money, like I don't want to waste it. So a way to hack it is what I've been learning with color theory is like, for example, if let's say you buy a concealer that's a little bit too orangey on you, but it matches your undertone for whatever reason. I don't know. This is just a very random example. You can buy certain concealers or blushes that you can mix in. So like if you have an orange, you want to pick its contrast, which would be blue. You can mix it in to kind of blend it together. So it is a smaller investment, but in the long run, if you have this one product that you really love, you're not buying your shade every time the sun decides to come out. Okay. So at least in that respect, it just becomes like, you're saving a little bit of money. So that's kind of a hack for all my ladies who like to like wear a little something on their face. Definitely, you can use color theory to help you match according to your season, your undertone, etc. if they don't have a shade that matches you. So I'm still kind of like learning the ins and outs of all of that. But I do love makeup. Like makeup is one of my favorite things. It's Lisa's like, it's way above me now. Listen, I love all that stuff. Yes, Miss Chrissy, it's so hard for me to find a good tinted sunscreen because I realize like I think I'm more of an olive undertone, and that's still being played with in the makeup world. Usually it's just neutral, cool, warm. I'm kind of like a mix of both. I don't know. Like remember like you would go to the counters at the beauty, like in like a Bloomingdale's or like a Macy's, and they would be like looking at your wrist to see what color your veins were to be able to like match a certain foundation. And we've come a long way in makeup, period. Okay. Just overall, because before you would have like half a shade and everyone was just light. And now we've evolved, Yes. Listen, Miss Lady Zelda, you see what I mean? It's so hard to match. Does Avon have these products? Because I would love to get a new concealer. I always stick to the neutral, but it's so hard to get it right because it's always off by just a little bit. It never really like fully blends in. So I always have to like like bronze blush to make it kind of like cohesive. But it's definitely like it's difficult to find it. It's just because we're just so special. Stop it. Look at all our, put an olive in the chat if you're an olive girly. Yes, if you are an olive girly and the struggles of finding your match, it is such a problem, y'all. It is such a problem. Ladies, the minute you make your own anything, I'm buying it. If it's a product, honey, anything, we're buying it. Yes. Miss, please pass the pepper. Welcome. Yes. So many olives. Honey, we not only like them in our martinis, it is our skin tone. Okay. Yeah. Like the foundation. Listen, I'm of the era and the generation of like the Bare Minerals, the MAC Honey Beige, the Clinique Double Face Powder. Like we were cake to the gods, honey. Yes, we were unmatched. Our necks did not match our face, but that's fine. But this is when makeup really just wasn't doing its thing. It just wasn't happening. And that's all right. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And Elf, Christy, is so awesome. Elf is so great. They have a lot of great products. And ladies, you know what? That's so funny because it is true to some degree because like what I've noticed too, I used to wear it, but it's a lot cakier on me now. And now that my skin is maturing, like I'm a lot more sensitive to certain things. So I just can't be buffing for days. Like you're there waiting, swirl, tap, buff. I got to leave it in its container because at that point my skin gets so sensitive. So I'm just like, and then I complain, I break out, and then I want to touch it, and then hyperpigmentation, and then the whole cycle begins again until I discovered regulating my hormones and eating the avocado and making sure that we use good Korean skincare. Okay. Swirl tap buff. Yes. Hi, Peppa. What's up? Salt and Peppa's here. Yes. What's up, girl? Yes. Oh, okay. Look, and I don't like this whole thing about like older skin line. Like, that's the one thing about the beauty space that there is this woman on YouTube that I've been watching. I think her name is Nicole Johnson. And Nicole, I think, let me see if I can see in here. First of all, the woman is stunning. I mean, she used to be a model, but she's let all her gray come in. Beautiful. And she's like, I don't want to do anything to my face anymore because I want to celebrate what I've been through. And a lot of women have been tricked into believing that you have to have like, you have to look 25 at 60. And it's like, that's not realistic. Like we don't see real faces anymore. Everything is lift, tucked, Botoxed, no expression, overfilled. Like we don't embrace natural faces, natural beauty anymore. We don't do that anymore. So what I love about her is that she's done a whole line of catering to women for our skincare needs as we age and embracing that. More of that, please. Because if I see another lip filler and someone's filler is migrating over here, girl, I don't know what to tell you. The people, unfortunately, like, look, if that's your vibe, great. But like, I feel like it ages you more. Is it just me? Like, I feel like it ages you more, like when you start like doing something that doesn't feel natural, or you start like the buccal fat, when people started removing the buccal fat, when that was a thing to be like very like this. I don't, respectfully, like, that's not my thing. I think that we can all look beautiful at every stage in life and embrace every crease and crevice. It's just that women have been put under a microscope to fit an ideal, a standard that is unrealistic, and feeling the pressure of having to do that. And then once you reach a certain age, like, you're not beautiful anymore. I wish you would see my grandma. My grandma is almost 90, and that skin, her secret is Pond's cream, but she calls it Pond's. And the formula, how it was before back in the day, is not what it is today. But her skin is flawless. She's beautiful. She is like, she has her gray. She like does all of this. It's very beautiful. She's very fabulous. And it's like, you know, more of that, more of seeing people who have lived. I want to know everything. Every crease is worth every laugh that you had. You know what I mean? Yes. The stretch. Yes. And listen, even the stretch marks. Oh, how dare you have a stretch mark? Well, what do you want me to do about it? I grew. Oh, sorry. Yes, Vaseline is, and it's always the simple things. Of course, you use Pond's. I'm telling you, Lady Zelda, you remind me so much of my maternal grandma in the way that you are. And I mean, obviously, it's that you represent a time in history and a time in art in that generation that cared about self-care. I don't think that putting on your makeup and doing that is like trying to cover anything up. I think it's an expression of like the femininity. Like, people back, Cleopatra had all this eyeliner. I mean, people were doing all of this. Did she have a contour, honey? Listen, she probably had a contour, but we don't see it on the sarcophaguses anymore. You know, it's already been washed away with the elements. But I'm pretty sure, you know, they had advances in doing different things. They would like burn stuff, put it as an eyeshadow. Like, I mean, there's always been this curiosity with transformation, but not transformation sometimes in a way for negative, although there are people who do that. Okay, you're trying to deceive. But there are people who actually really love the feeling of just feeling good, looking beautiful. What's wrong? Why are we demonizing that? Can we care about that? And respectfully, I don't care if you think that aging is a problem. The real problem is we're all going to get there, God willing. The problem is you just got to accept it. You just don't want to. That's the problem. You don't want to accept that. God willing, you get there. A full life is what I aspire to have. You know, like, I want to see my grandbabies, if I could live to be that age. But you know what I'm saying? Like, why do we demonize aging? That's terrible. Respectfully, I don't care if you think aging is a bad thing. It's not. We should get there. Yes, Aquaphor is great. Aquaphor is great. Definitely came in handy for my baby. Because, you know, like, a lot of kids, especially because of everything that they put in everything, okay? And the they, you know, the they who does the they things. I do think that a lot of children have like a lot more sensitivities because there's like, you know, different things going on, different chemicals, etc. There's too many processed things. Like, my grandma is 90. Yeah, she has her issues, but for the most part, relatively healthy because she grew up in a generation that didn't have everything overly processed. They were eating natural from the ground. They saw the tomato plant that is on my balcony. Shh, I'm not supposed to have it, but it's okay. They don't need to know about it. It's giving me 3 babies currently. I couldn't even believe it. And they're very juicy. I was like, oh, excuse me. The fertilizer is fertilizing. Okay, we love that. We love that for the tomato plant. But yes, Miss Melanie, we don't talk about, we don't do that, okay? But she was eating the tomatoes straight from the vine. She was eating the real things. They weren't worried about counting calories or like, macros, micros, whatever other keto, eat just egg whites, crash diet thing. They ate a very healthy, balanced diet. We've lost touch with that. It's part of the reason I'm being very rebellious as a New Yorker and wanting to plant everything. And why I was like, you know what? I know I'm not allowed to do that, but we only get all those weird things if we don't build an ecosystem around it. Okay. I've been doing my research. Put the marigolds, put the basil. You'll be all right. You won't get any pests. Okay. Everything works together. It's a miracle. Yes, Pepper. So it's not the fire escape. I'm very blessed to have a balcony and a very spacious one at that. So I'm able to like have like little plants. Um, I bought purple basil to be friends with the tomato and with the marigolds. So they're all kind of working together. And that's the pest control. Because instead of spraying all this stuff on, like people never used to do that. People never used to have to spray things on their food. It's only now because it's like you go to a farm and they're only planting one thing and they have to mass produce it. So you're, exhausting the nutrients of the soil by overproducing, but you're also not allowing for the crop to grow in unison with the other crops or the way that nature works. Like, I don't know why the oak trees and all these other trees, and look, I don't know my trees very well or my birds, but I'm a city kid. But as I'm living in this wonderful place, I'm discovering things. And just when you walk outside in the man-made park of Central Park, you actually go to nature. Like you see, like there are all these like, different types of flowers and leaves growing off of trees and certain trees planted together and like how nature intended it to be. It's its own ecosystem. It takes care of itself. So if farmers were able to focus on gardening and farming in that method, there would be a lot less need for all these pesticides and chemicals. But Bill Gates owns everything. Okay, like Matt Reptilia. I don't know what to tell you, honey. Why he owns all the farmland and everyone else is allowed to have farmland, but we don't. I mean, as in you and I, like if you want to now it's a luxury thing to have a farm. Now it's like a rich people thing to like grow a tomato. And I'm not rich yet. In the commune, though, we will all have roles. Miss Terry Doria has been looking up canning. We were talking earlier about crocheting, and she told me she makes a mean granny square. She knows how to crochet a mean granny square blanket. And I was like, Terry, as long as we use natural fibers, I'm okay with that. We can do that. You want to show me? You want to teach me? I want to do that too. I don't know. I think we're all reverting back to that. I think our humanity is kind of craving, like, I want to touch dirt. I want to set fire, like maybe it's that, but yes. Didn't nature do much better when everyone was trapped inside because of the vid? It did, but to some degree, it ruined the nature within us because we all became a lot more unhinged, in my opinion, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. Something happened. I do love that everybody is like, look, I'm one of the very, like, I did the stereotypical, I want sourdough. I have a starter. You know what? Hold on one second. I'm going to show you my starter. Please hold. Let me go grab my starter. I haven't used it in a little while because it's too hot to make sourdough. Hold on. Let's see here. Yes. God. All right, I am back. This is my starter. This is a rye flour based starter. So when I was researching how to do sourdough, I reached out to my sister-in-law who started this process first, and she did a rye-based starter because in when you're making sourdough, especially if you're going to start the process, the discard is the part that was really not making me feel too happy because of the waste aspect. So I was like, is there a way to make sourdough starter without having to discard anything in the very beginning? So my sister-in-law also had the same thing and she started her journey and she sent me the link for that. So I started this one I think 2 or 3 years ago. So I've had the same starter for that long. This is how people used to make bread, y'all. This is how people used to make bread. But you know what? It's not really that, like, this one is a lot more forgiving because I know a lot of people get turned off by doing sourdough or anything like that because it can be finicky. It's only finicky if you're doing it all the time. Yes, it can be temperature annoying. And you know what? Your first loaf is not going to be perfect. Sometimes I do get enjoyment watching sourdough fails because like they open it and it's like a huge hole in the middle and I just laugh. I'm sorry. It's not to be shady. Like I'm not trying to be shady, y'all. It was just comedy gold to me. But because I feel like that was going to happen to me at some point and maybe I'm manifesting it. Please, I rebuke. But this definitely keeps forever. And if you don't want to tend to it, you can just leave it in the fridge and it'll be fine. I haven't touched this for a month. And sometimes it'll form. I don't know. Let's see if actually this is a great show and tell. So we don't have it yet, but usually like there'll be like this like liquid that forms here. It's like kind of like an alcohol. It smells like alcohol. And that happens. You throw it out and you'll be fine. Nothing matters. You'll be fine. This stuff is so resilient. And especially like the rye flour, it has a lot of nutrients. And you like, look, it's a process. And what I love about it is, and why I chose to do sourdough is because everything is so instant gratification in our world. Oh, we're getting into the artsy talk, okay? That taking a step back to really just wait and develop that patience to see something grow, to start it, and that you have no control over how it's going to rise. The temperature might be, who knows what it is. But the beautiful thing about it is the patience there. It's watching something happen, taking the time to like really appreciate the process of allowing something to start from here and then it becomes a loaf of bread. Like Miss Lady Zelda, she's like, he took 7 loaves home. Of course she made, listen, I know listen, at the commune, I already know Miss Lady Zelda is the type of person who's going to cook, bake, and do everything with all of her might and love because she will make everything. Because I know Miss Lady Z is a chef extraordinaire. And also, you just want to feed everyone. I love that. And I know a lot of people in the chat are the same. Yeah, she's a baker. Yes, Miss Lady Zelda, she is a baker. She's everything. She is iconic. Period. Stop it. I still get like, this has to be a dream. Stop it. Someone tell me what's happening right now. The Lord is very good to me. Thank you, God. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lady Z. Oh, Miss Lady Zelda is iconic. Stop it. But yeah, like you bake, you do all those things for the people that you love. I didn't know that I had this in me. I went from like making cakes and learning how to do that to then doing the thing that required the most patience, but it yields the best result. And I kind of tell that like with like anyone with young children, like when you let your children participate in the kitchen, let them make messes, which was hard for me. I've said this before. That was a very difficult process to allow for my daughter to just be an Aries. Like as a very fixed sign, as a Taurus, it is very hard to allow for that to happen. But then at some point, it's like she has to find what is her her calling, what are her quirks, what are the things that she likes. I don't want to project that the way that I do things on top of her, because if she wants to make a mess because it's a sensory thing or whatever the case may be, we can always clean it up. If the egg falls on the floor, we can clean it up. Okay, it's not that big of a deal. And those fails teach you, right? It's just that this is why sometimes I work solo, because I'm like, listen, I like this done a certain way. I like to wash while I do this. I like to clean. I like to cook. I like to make sure I'm organized and I have everything where it needs to be so that I can focus, because I know my focus can go everywhere. You made butter. Of course, obviously she made butter. Of course she did. Fresh butter. Like, look, I love Kerrygold. I have a very good relationship with Kerrygold. I adore Kerrygold butter. It's very good. The fresh butter, if you can find the cream without the Carrageenan, the vegans, and all the other egans in it, it's fantastic. And then you just do like a little bit of sea salt. Oh, y'all are making me hungry. Stop it. Stop it. Yes, we know Miss Terry is an Aries. It even rhymes. Miss Terry is an Aries. I mean, you can't make it up. You can't make it up, Miss Terry Doria. Yes. Our favorite Aries, Miss Terry. Yes. But there is nothing like fresh bread and butter. And I think that that's the thing. Because, I live in one of the most the culinary capital, I would say, is New York. And I could be wrong, but I feel like New York is known for the diversity and all of the wonderful melting this of pots and blah, blah, blah. We've got everything here. We're spoiled. Okay. 100% own that. But if I see another foam with a microgreen and like an invisible steak with like whatever, eighth of a potato, eighth of a quarter of a teaspoon of a potato for $85 because it's Michelin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Give me the bread and butter. Give me a good piece of bread and some solid butter and I'm okay. I don't need the foam. Maybe I'm just not fancy enough for those things. Maybe I'm too practical to understand I'm eating foam. When you go to Starbucks, I haven't been there in years, but when I did go, I would have to tell them no foam, please, because what you're getting is essentially like this much coffee and this much foam. I don't want to drink foam. I'd like my coffee that I'm already paying like $9 for. And they trick us into thinking that the grande, what is a small? What is a small? Like, I don't even remember. That's how long it's been. A venti, whatever, a Trenta, a grande. They're all the same. It's just optical illusions. I love to see those videos of people like pouring into all the sizes and it's the same liquid and it fits in every single cup seamlessly. We have been duped. We have been tricked, ladies and gentlemen. Do they get a tall? There we go. I knew I could depend on you, girl. Yes, Miss K. Jara. Yes. Yes. A tall. Are you charged for water at Starbucks now? Stop it. Wait. Okay, so Miss Lady Zelda, I know she has played with the idea, and I am praying to the Lord that her cookbook comes out for the holiday season. So that way we can all enjoy Lady Zelda's recipes, because when Miss Lady Zelda on a stream said that she made her own mustard, she made her own ketchup, I'm like, where's the cookbook? Immediately. And she's talking about dinner rolls. I want to know. I would like to indulge in a Lady Zelda culinary feast. Okay. Like, can we please get a cookbook? Because that would be so amazing. I mean, what can't she do? And that's what I love about her, is like, she does it all. It's like Bethany Frankel, mention it all for Miss Lady Zelda. Do it all. Yes. Do it all. Yes. Yes, Miss Lady Zelda, please. I would love to see it. And if it's okay with you and with your permission, I would love to at least, because I've been doing baking streams. I just invested in my new little kitchen cam. My husband did. What a wonderful man. But, I would love to just show like kind of like the Julia and Julia, but the Jimmy and Lady Zelda of it. Stop it. It would be so fun to do all of your recipes and to stream them. It would be so cool to kind of do it. Like, oh, I would love that. If that's okay, obviously, I'll email you, whatever works. Oh my God, it's so exciting. Because I'm like, baking in real time and cooking in real time is like such a difficult thing. Like I've learned to hack it to some degree. I made like an eaten mess the other day. And I made the meringues separately because meringues take so long to bake and you have to allow for dry time. So I could chat, but to be distracted of having meringues cooling and then doing the whipped cream and, no. So I recorded myself and that was a throwback to like my baking days. And I was like, this is a great idea. And I think this is a good way to streamline any type of baking content and still keep it live and fun because I love the live interaction. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Like, I love this. I love being able to do that. And apparently, according to the polls, people like the videos. So I'm like, all right. And I can brush up on my editing skills. Think of Harry Potter. Stop. Oh my gosh. Lady Zelda, as much as I love you that you will gift it to me, I'm so happy to support you. I'm so happy to support it. Everyone, please subscribe to Lady Zelda ASAP because we're about to get in the kitchen, honey, okay? And we're waiting for it. We want the dinner rolls that Lord Gregor gets to savor every time, okay? I want to know. I want to be Lord Gregor for one day and try a Lady Zelda masterpiece. We need to subscribe. Everyone, please go subscribe immediately. The book is coming out in August. Listen. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Not Miss Lady Zelda giving us a yes. I cannot. Oh. Listen, my bun is disheveled. I can't even handle it. Oh. Oh, please. Yes, meringue. Yes, meringue. Oh, not the cookbook. Two others. I apologize. I retract the statement. Don't listen to me, but listen to me when I tell you, please subscribe to Miss Lady Zelda, okay? And get all the things. She's iconic. Okay. Iconic. Listen, yes. Look at Miss Lady Zelda. I don't want to hear anything. Miss Lady Zelda is an example that if you want to do it, do it. Period. And maybe I should cover my hands, for the palm readers out there. Listen, you didn't see anything. The hands tell us a lot of things, okay? Hello, Miss Ruth. Oh my God, Miss Ruth. Wow. What happened today? What shifted in the end? What in the Jupiter in Leo is happening? What in the planetary and Mercury retrograde in Cancer is happening today? What in the Uranus retrograde is happening right now? I think it's in Taurus. This is this is so wild, you guys. Wow, what a dream, truly. This is such a dream. Wow. Hello, Miss Ruthie. Miss Ruthie has a candle line. Listen, girl, you let me know. You tell me about your velitas, your candles. I'm happy to do it whenever you're ready. Please drop it in the link. You already know we would love to support you. So please share it. Exactly, Miss Lady Zelda, period. How do I put that? Yes, I'm going to show that. Yeah, she's my first to show, period. I want everyone to really screenshot that right there and remember it any single time that you feel that you cannot do something or whatever everybody else is complaining about. You care about focusing on yourself and you do what you got to do in your own lane. Amen. And this right here, yes, we are doing that for Miss Lady Zelda, that in the divine timing, whenever it is that Miss Lady Zelda graces us with all of her wonderful recipes so that we can have a little bit of Lady Zelda through all of these delicious things that I know that she makes, honey, because Lord Gregor is fed, honey. Yes, he is. He is happy. I know it. I feel it. And her son. Her son also has like a streaming thing. Like, look at them as a family, they're doing their thing. Like, that's beautiful. That should be celebrated. More of that, less of all the other stuff. You know what I mean? Less about caring about things that aren't really relevant, and less about caring about all of the stuff that we tell ourselves are important that really it isn't. We're so invested in so many things outside that we forget. Like I said earlier, just like sit with yourself for a little bit. Really focus on that. Focus on why you're feeling the things that you're feeling. Why do you say I don't care? What are you masking? What is the root of that? The more that we get to the root of things, the more that we're able to truly heal collectively. And that ripples outward. The devil hates to see us coming, honey. The minute we start uplifting the people, he is like, oh, you're getting too comfortable, Miss Jimmy. You're doing too many good things. I need to start directing you this way, somewhere else. I cannot have you here. No. And he will try, but he will never succeed. Period. Bye, Miss Renee. Listen, shout out to Miss Renee. She also has a wonderful channel. Please be sure to subscribe to her channel. That's my girl. She and I have done streams together. She is also on her healing journey. I really love Miss Renee. Miss Renee, before you leave, please put it in the or if one of the mods could kindly just put that in the chat, Miss Renee's channel. Please go check her out. She's so awesome. And we're really praying for her that everything is going well. And I know it will be. So please, but yes, good night, Miss Renee. We love you. You know I love you so much. Oh my God. I love you, girl. Yes, Miss Renee. Un aplauso, por favor, for Miss Renee. She's so fabulous. Thank you so much for taking your time to be here with me, my queen. Love you. Yes. Girl, you know what? At this point, we're all crying. Crying is okay. It's a good thing. It's a very good thing. We need to release. So it's okay. Yes, I'm giving you all the hugs. Yes, hugs and love for Miss Renee. Yes. And for all of you beautiful people in the chat, thank you. Yes, thank you for everything, Miss Renee. I appreciate you. Yes, period. I love that. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this stream. Wow, it really took like so many tangents as I'm trying to figure out the clockits and all of this stuff. The clockits are a little bit more just to be like a little bit more about engaging everyone into having conversations that provoke their perspectives and not to be stuck in your only way. And that's coming from a Taurus, okay? As a fixed sign, you guys, as a fixed sign, it's very hard. Okay, ask Lady Zelda. She'll tell you I'm a fixed sign. It is very difficult to go and embrace change and to go with the flow. Very hard. So in that respect, if I'm saying these things, it's because being rigid, one, I'm not defined by my zodiac sun sign or any sign, period. These are just all like, archetypes. And yes, there are certain attributes that we make us who we are, but we're much more than just your sun sign. And a lot of it is tapping into the different energies of like just being open-minded to be wrong, being open-minded to try what it is that you want to do, invest your energy, invest your time into pursuing a passion, into doing something that you absolutely love. Yes, listen, Miss Elisa. Miss Elisa, as a Taurus, we struggle with change and we struggle with that. But I think that a lot of it too is like, it's our own. It's like what we might be born to be prone to do, but it doesn't mean that you can't change it if you choose. It's all choices, ultimately, in my opinion, Yes, we do love change within our own fence because Lord have mercy if it's anything outside. No. Look, my Leo rising is very much loving this, okay? And even with that, it can be a little too sometimes, like you got to manage that you're not too boastful, you're not too arrogant, you're not, too much. But even with that, it's all about finding balance because there's pros and cons to everything all the time. So I think that like when you find your groove, it's just like what I found is that Leo rising and my North Node is like I, one, don't like anyone to control me, and I don't like to not try something. If you tell me that I cannot do something, I'm going to do it so good. Like, oh, are you challenging me not to do this? Oh, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to, maybe it's Latin pride. I don't know. It might be a little combination, a little sprinkle of this, a little cento. I don't even know what to tell you. It's a lot of things, but I know for myself, like, I like to push myself to try to be in competition with myself. But if someone's telling me that I can't do something, I'm like, not to prove it to you, but it's like, how dare you think that I can't? Oh. So now I'm going to do this for myself, and you're just going to be witness to it. Yes. Yes, you are. Of course she's a Leo. Yes, of course she's a Leo. We need Leos, okay? Leos are fabulous. My grandmother is a Leo. My maternal grandma is a Leo. So it is just like, it's in the lineage, honey. I don't know what to tell you. Yes, Cento. Do you remember that? A little this, a little that. Some Cento. Yes, I used to love those commercials. For the longest time, I was like, what's a Cento? Like, it's not salsa de tomate? I don't understand. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Let's check the chat for a second and say hi to all of the lovely. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Like, what a surprise and what a beautiful evening. What a great way. Not yet, Miss Michelle. We still have another, I think retro is over, if I'm not mistaken, next week. We do have a full moon. I think eclipse season is starting soon. So there's a whole lot of that. Miss Erin is a Leo? Iconic. Period. Period. Are you the 20? So you're the 29th of July. It's Miss Captain Harris. Your birthday's next week. Hold on. Pause. Pause everything. Hold on. Not next week, the following Wednesday. Oh, we are going to do a little cheers that Friday. Okay. We're going to do a cheers for all the Leo babies. Thank you, Miss. Oh my God, Lady Zelda. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. I love you so much. And thank you so much for everything that you do and for being the fabulous, wonderful Empress that you are. We're all so blessed to know you. And thank you for sharing your gifts with all of us. You are a gem. You are loved. You are cherished. You are needed. And thank you so much for being here and supporting my channel. Like, what? That's just... Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to you. Thank you. Oh my God, I can't even believe that this is happening. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you. And much love to Lord Gregor and to your son. Thank you so much for everything. Stop it. Stop. Thank you. To be called like a lovely lady by the lady? I can't. I'm fangirling so hard right now. I can't. Bye. Thank you so much, Lady Zelda. Thank you. Everyone give ascending a little heart for our beautiful Lady Zelda for being here. Thank you so much. So much. Let's send her off with all the love. Please put some hearts in the chat for our beautiful Empress, Queen, the gorgeous, the elegant Lady Zelda. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Yes. Period. Oh my God, you guys. I feel like I need to journal. I feel like I need to go cry. I feel like I need to probably do like 1,000 squats. I don't know. So iconic. Oh my God. Like, what? I can't. I showed her my sourdough. Are you kidding? Oh, she's still here. Oh my God. I can't. Oh my gosh. Thank God. Thank God I'm not like on anything, because Lord, like I would have been like, excuse me, what? Oh, espérate. Wait. My mom would have been like, wait till I tell my mom. Wait till she's going to be like, ay, hija. Que milagro de Dios. AKA, oh, daughter. What a miracle from God. Yes. She's so cute. Oh, I can't. I can't. I cannot, you guys. What a blessing. That's why I feel like, it's just nice to feel like you are seen. And sometimes, yeah, like it's we all want to be seen, right? We all want to feel noticed, and but especially from people that you love and respect, it means a lot because it's so unexpected, but also it's just so valuable because it feels like it's the right path. And in a lot of the things that I've gone through with kind of coming back into the online world, it's like, you know, you it's like when you go to school, right? And you go to a new school and you're meeting people and you don't know anyone, and you're starting to meet people and trying to like set your foundation and figure out where you're going to be. And you kind of run into people, you run into all the different cliques and stuff, and then you're like, you know what, I'm just going to be the weird artist person on this side. And that's been most of my life. Like I've always been popular with everyone because everybody wanted me to draw something for them. Can you draw my name with my boyfriend's name? Thanks. Like there was lots of that. But then also to like be seen by someone that you have watched also evolve and grow and blossom, and watch her love story and like see the progression, and to have that full circle moment is just such a beautiful experience. Like I can't put that entirely into words what that means to me, because it's moments like that, of those unexpected surprises from the divine and from people that you align with, that like these gifts come, and it's like these blessings come, and you're just like, wow, like, are you kidding? What? Stop it. It's like almost like that coming true, and especially because of like the stuff that I've grown up with, and what, like, I was guided to her channel, I was guided to her, to this group of people, and to see it come together like that, still being the small channel that I am, it's just it's such a big blessing. So thank you to Lady Zelda and to all of you beautiful people. Seriously, it's a lot for me, you guys. It's a lot. Everyone's having an amazing weekend, okay? Retro doesn't exist anymore. That's it. Through this blessing, I bless you that retro doesn't exist anymore. Lady Zelda said the retro is done. Bye. Like literally. And she is streaming tomorrow, everybody. So be sure that you check her out. Okay, please. And period. All right. Yes. Thank you. It's such a beautiful thing. Like, yeah, Miss Michelle, I don't miss clicks either. I mean, I was kind of in random clicks, but it was one of those things where, it happens. I mean, it's kind of like, your hormones are everywhere. You're trying to figure out who you are, who you want to be, etc. It happens. And you know what? Even when you're an adult, these things still exist. It just is what it is, that happens. But you just hope that when you pray for the right people, and that's kind of how I changed a lot of like what I started to care about, is like, I used to care about quantity of people versus quality. And because I thought that if I had more friends, then maybe I would be respected more because more people could vouch for me. That backfired in many ways throughout my lifetime. And not only because people would just take, but also like you, first of all, especially when I started baking, all of y'all want a free cake. Ingredients cost money. Okay. It backfired. But you start to realize, like, when you open yourself to too many people and you don't really vet them properly, yeah, like you invite a lot of things, it opens up that avenue. So it's really hard, and you have to learn to use that D word, discernment, to be able to really vet people properly, suss them out a little bit. And sometimes you get it wrong, and that's okay. And sometimes you get it right. 99% of the time you do get it right, though. Ask me how I know. Don't. We're not getting into it because it's already 10:30, and I'm sure the peoples are tired. No? Are we tired? Who's tired? But What a beautiful experience, truly. Like, I will never forget this. I will, like, it's so wild because today it is Clock It episode number 5. And 5 is a number of change. And you know what else? 5 is my birth month. 1 plus 4 is 5, which is my birthday. So 14. So 5, 5. I got 5 on it. Yes, I got 5 on it, honey. Lots of 5s. And look at that blessing. Mira eso. Thank you, Lord. Let me say a quick prayer before we head out of here, because it's already at the 2-hour 30 mark, and I don't want to keep everyone on a Friday. I know you girls are gonna go dancing today, or what? Are y'all gonna go dancing today? Or are we dancing here? Tell me. I can sing a little bit, but not, I'm not a good singer, but I can make some beats or something. Remember Justin Timberlake doing like the beats? The beatboxing? Oh Lord. That's right. Miss Michelle is like, actualmente, this is just the beginning for me, girl. Meanwhile, like my one eye is like already drooping because I'm like, yes, we gravitate towards different people. Totally. I think that a lot of people don't realize that that's a choice too. But yes, Miss Terry, I'm going to get some whiskey for the next time for your birthday so we can do a birthday cheers. Why am I whispering that? I don't know. We're going to get whiskey and we're going to do that. Yes. Yes, for your birthday. Yes, we are. Our Leo girl, Miss Erin, you let me know when your birthday is. We're going to do it. If you would like to disclose when your birthday is, we are all going to cheers. When it's your birthday, you let me know. We will cheers and wish you a wonderful birthday. Obviously, we're not doing that early. I don't believe in that. I'm very superstitious. We don't do that, but we are going to do a quick prayer. So before anything, I would like to thank God, my gosh, God, for allowing tonight to be so beautiful. What a blessing and a surprise to have all of these wonderful people here in the chat today, to be graced with the presence of our Empress, Miss Lady Zelda. Stop it. That Miss Captain Harris was subscriber number 100. I mean, it's all these little things that are little blessings to remind you that, and to remind all of us that being consistent, making choices that are difficult sometimes, and doing what you're passionate about, it always gets returned to us in a way to be fulfilling, not only for the person creating, but that the love and the energy and the beautiful things that you put into things starts to transfer to others and to inspire others to do their own version of that. So Lord, I thank you for allowing me to be that vessel and that channel in this moment in time with all of these wonderful people, to bless me with these wonderful women and men that take their time to watch, to have blessed me with that wonderful surprise with Lady Zelda and all of the wonderful things that she's doing. And I pray for all of our continued protection, for our love to be covered in your love, protection, and light, and that all of us continue to go into the rest of this day, this wherever you are, whether it's Saturday or Friday night, wherever you may be, into the rest of this weekend and into the rest of this wild Mercury retrograde, that we get into it and we continue to move forward with you leading the way. So I thank you, Lord, for all that you do for us, for me, for our families, for our loved ones. Thank you for everything. I am eternally, eternally grateful for every blessing, big and small. And I'm happy to share it with all of you. Yes, I thank you, Lord, my Lord. Yes, period. Amen. Yes. Oh my gosh. But yes, I love that you're all adding your own little thing. And like, all of the things that we're doing, it's for everyone. The commune is happening, you guys. Like, the commune is happening. I am taking applications for the commune. We all have roles, but most importantly, we're all going to have fun. That is number one priority at the commune. Okay. We are all having fun. We are creating, we're growing, we're doing all the things. That's what I want to do. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Lord. Yes. Love and light to everyone. Yes. In Jesus' name, we love Jesus. So we got to dedicate an episode to Jesus and Mary Magdalene together, because, they're two peas in a pod, honey. The divine masculine and divine feminine. Okay. Yes. Miss Melanie. Yay. Miss Chrissy, the commune. Yes, Miss Patricia. Amen. And I hope you're feeling better. Miss Patricia, she's always like, she already knows too. Every time I see Miss Patricia, I give her garden because she's so wonderful. Like everything, she's always so supportive. All of you are also supportive. So I really am so grateful. Yes, Miss Captain. I can't even believe today. I can't. But with that said, I'm going to end it here. I want to thank you all again for attending this wonderful stream. Yes, Miss Terry, our favorite Aries, Miss Terry, sending all of us many blessings. I pray you all, I don't hope, I pray because I know that you all have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Take a second to really care about you and respectfully not care about anything that doesn't apply to your life, honey. Okay. So I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I pray this was a wonderful stream. It was for me, truly. Like I need a second to just digest what happened today. It just feels like so wild, but I'm just so grateful. I love you all. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And I will check you out next week where I will be introducing my new cam as we draw, possibly doodle. I don't know. We might have to doodle it. And we're going to go forward from there. So I love you all. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I'm just so grateful. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And I'll check you the next one. Bye. Is this going to end? Yes, end stream. Why is it not pressing? Bye. I love you. Bye.